Documentary filmmaking is a field of work that revolves around uncertainty. It always requires you to be on your toes. It always requires you to be ready to catch a particular moment. For instance, in one of my films, I was documenting the ethno-political violence between two particular groups in Karachi. I was filming with a teenage Pashtun girl whose house had been set on fire allegedly by another ethnic group. I was about to move the camera away from her to film her surroundings when I heard a quiver in her voice. I decided to keep the camera on her. I saw that the details of the day had come rushing back to her. She broke down.
हम लोग तो पर्दा करते हैं और उस दिन तो कुछ को देखा ही नहीं, दुपट्टा भी नहीं था और चप्पल भी नहीं थे, भाग रहे थे, सारे आदमी हमें देख रहे थे.
This was a simple yet poignant moment that put into context the effects of violence on a very human level. When we watch television news, we get to hear the statistics of an event. But when we watch documentary films, we actually get to know what the impact of that particular event has been on human lives. I'm drawn towards events that revolve around injustice and violence. Through documentary films, I try to immortalize these events so that years and years from now, people can look at my work and get to know about the kinds of mistakes their predecessors have made so that they can actually learn from them. As a young filmmaker, I believe that one should be aware of all the elements that go into making a film, which is why I often go into the field all on my own. I'm the one who does the research, conducts the interview, operates the camera, and records the sound. It's not easy because it pushes your limits, but you realize that you're capable of much more than you thought was possible. This is something that I was trained in when I went for my master's in news and documentary at New York University on the Fulbright Scholarship. I had access to a city that was brimming with all kinds of stories and a sense of diversity I have not experienced anywhere else in the world. I even got the opportunity to work at CNN and to report from the UN headquarters. When I returned to Pakistan, I continued to focus on making films that tackled a diverse range of social, political, and human rights issues. One such film was called A Girl in the River, that followed the story of a young woman who had survived an honor-killing attempt in the hands of her own father. The film caught the attention of the government and they pledged to change the law regarding honor killings in Pakistan. Later that year, the film also ended up winning an Academy Award. That feeling was simply incomparable to anything else. The award brought a lot of praise and recognition to my team as well as myself, but at the same time we also faced a lot of criticism. A lot of people complain about what they thought was a negative image of Pakistan. As a documentary filmmaker, I believe that our responsibility is to tell the truth, and the truth can be bitter at times. People say we're cynics. I'd say we're just people who don't want to give anyone the impression that things are fine around them when they really aren't. Despite the challenges we face as a nation, I consider myself an optimist. When I go out into the field to meet people from different walks of life, it gives me hope. The extraordinary way in which ordinary people stand up against injustice, the way people face some of the biggest adversities in life and stay strong, the way people overcome immense grief to start anew, all of this urges me to keep going. That is why the stories of our people cannot be left untold. My name is Haya Fatima Iqbal, and I want to make films that build empathy among people all across the world.